my name is Sally Turner, and I'd like to tell you about Sally Jane Photographic Art, and in particular the pet portrait service that I offer. Pet portraits are a great way of immortalising your pets and showing them off to anyone who comes to visit your house. You can find more details about my pet portraits on my website at www.sally-jane.com, and there you'll also see full examples of my work. Normally I work from photographs taken by myself, but this is not always the case. Sometimes the pets are too far away for me to travel to, or the pet may have died, in which case I'm happy to work from photographs that are supplied by the client. This will depend on the quality of the image, but I'll give you an honest answer to whether or not I can work from this image as soon as the image is sent to me.
This is Roxy, and this is a good example of a portrait that I have created from an owner's own photograph. Roxy is an Australian cattle dog, and as he lives in Australia, I clearly couldn't take the photographs myself.
I make no additional charge for coming out and taking the photographs, save maybe some travelling expenses in certain circumstances. If I am to take the photographs, I'll arrange it to be at a mutually convenient location and time, somewhere where the pet feels comfortable and is relaxed.
When more than one animal is required on a portrait, I usually take the photographs individually and then combine them for the final portrait. This is particularly true for horses, who generally tend to be a little more fidgety.
The finished portraits come in a variety of sizes, either medium, rectangular as in this one, or square as in this one, or large. This is the rectangular version, this is the square version. Whether it's square or rectangular will depend on the subject matter and how it fits best within the mount. The mount sizes are all standard, so they're easy to get frames for. However, if you want a different size, then just ask me and I'll quote you a price. As well as portraits, I'll also produce a greetings card to go with it. That's in here. This greetings card is blank, but you can have any message you like in it. You'll get a complimentary one with the portrait, and if you want to order any more, you can do so at any time in the future and with any customisation that you require.
Once I've finished taking all the photographs I think I need for the portrait, I'll quickly go through them with you on the camera looking at the LCD screen, in case you've got any particular poses that you see there that you would like me to consider for the portrait. It's not until I've uploaded them onto the computer though that I can really see what I've got to work with. This is not untypical of the amount of images that I might take in any one sitting. It may not be as many as this, or it may be more. It depends on the circumstances of the day, the weather, and how confident the pet is at the time. This is a field spaniel called Sam, and we're going to take a closer look at these images. So I'll look at them fairly large and go through them individually, checking their sharpness as I go. If anything doesn't come up to scratch, or it's not terribly sharp, I can just eliminate it straight away. So I work my way down, and when I see something I particularly like, I can earmark it for closer inspection. I've already worked through this lot, as you might imagine, and I have a short list of 4 here, which I'll show you. Now I've got my short list, I can spend a bit more time looking at them in more detail. And I decided in the end to go for these two. I couldn't actually decide between the two of them, so I ended up working on both of them. And we'll take a closer look at this one here. So we'll open up in Photoshop. Oops, that's the wrong one. Right, and this is the image in Photoshop. Now I can zoom in 100% and have a look at it again and check on the details. While I'm here, I might just get rid of a few of these little marks. That's it. So they don't end up showing up in the portrait. Once I'm happy I've tidied up the image, the next job then is to remove all this background area, all this green. Now this is not an ideal setting really for a dog like this, however I had to work with what I had, because this dog obviously has got very, very fluffy ears, and the mottled green background of the grass doesn't make removing the background terribly easy. However, I can work with it. Just takes a little bit longer sometimes. Here we are with the background removed, and now that just leaves me to work on the main subject here to make it look more like a painting rather than a photograph. I work with a graphics tablet and stylus rather than a mouse. The stylus looks and feels just like a pen and can be used either as a pen or as a paintbrush, depending on what requirements I have. This gives me much more flexibility and control over my subject. Now I've still got quite a bit of work to do on this, so I'm just going to flip forward to one that I prepared earlier. And there we are. And I'm happy with that. Right, now all it leaves me to do is to add the signature. Take a pen. And that's it. Now at this stage I'll save this image as a proof image, which I can either email to you as a PDF document that you can open up in Acrobat, or I can upload it to my website where you can view it online, or failing that, if you don't have internet access, I can print it off and post it to you. But I must reiterate, this is a proof image, so the printing quality will not be anywhere near the same quality as the final portrait. This is the proof image opened up in Acrobat, and if you don't have Acrobat Reader, you can download it free from the internet. Once you've got your proof image, whether it's in PDF format as shown here, or whether you've downloaded it from my website, or even got a printed copy, take a good look at it. If there's anything you want changed, let me know. I'd rather you told me about things that you're not fully happy with at this proof stage, when I can do something about them, then you end up with a finished portrait that's just okay. I want you to be fully happy with the portrait. Changes might be something minor. You might say, oh hang on, there's a little spot on his nose here I'd like you to remove. Or it might be something major. You might really like me to have worked on a different pose altogether. Or maybe in this case here, the owner here liked the portrait but wanted to see what it looked like with the head collar removed. Now I can't always promise to remove a head collar, but in this case it came out okay, so I was able to give her one with the head collar and one without the head collar to choose from. This is Bruce, a Jack Russell. He was only a puppy when I took the photographs for this portrait, so sitting still was a bit of a challenge. In the image you'll see that he looks like he's being garroted by his collar as he is straining against his leash. This was not going to be a good look in the portrait, so instead I was able to recreate the collar and part of his neck for the finished image, and I think you'll agree it looks a lot better that way. It's only when you're fully happy with the portrait that I'll ask for payment. Once paid, I'll print and mount the portrait. And so here we are, a finished portrait, printed, mounted and ready for the owner to frame. You can find out more about my pet portraits at my websites at www.sally-jane.com or www.petportraitsbysally-jane.co.uk, or failing that you can phone me on 07956 448 690, and I look forward to speaking to you. Bye bye.